blah, 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 and I would know. But in American, ew. In English, I was touched in an alleyway in Seoul, but low-key, my fault. What? Are you okay? Korean is a hard language. I think personally for me, it's very hard because I already struggled with learning languages. Like if you weren't here before, my mom's Italian, so I can hear when she speaks Italian, I know what she's saying, but I can't speak back very well. I can't really form sentences. And so learning Korean, that aspect was hard for me. And then the sentence order is completely different from English. So I think for some people, one of the biggest things is like, people are like, oh, is Korean going to be really hard for me? And the first thing I always ask is like, well, that depends. Do you already know a second language? Because if you do, then you know what works best for you. I think if you're starting from scratch and you've never learned a language in your life, then you're like, I don't even know where to start. Does taking notes work best for me? Does listening to TV shows work best for me? I don't even know. I'm still jumping all over the board and being like, what's the best way to remember? The internet is so lag. Boo! It might also be because I am running out of battery, so. What type of work do you do there? Is work weeks like the US as far as hours? No. So me personally, we as a family opened a business, so I'm a manager there. But as far as work weeks go, it's very different. So here in Korea, there's no like maximum amount. So like if you're from the United States, you're used to a 40-hour work week, and then once you hit 40 hours, you hit overtime unless you're a salary person. And that doesn't exist in Korea. So they have like a certain amount of hours that you should be working, or that is considered the cap, but it's something in like the 60 range. I think it's like 64 hours. And there's no overtime. So for example, when he used to work for a big company, I'm not going to name the company because I don't want to name drop, but there would be days where he would go in at like 9 o'clock in the morning, and then he would call me and say, hey, I'm going to have to stay because we have to rearrange the displays. And then he would be there till like 3 o'clock in the morning with no time and a half, no overtime pay, no after 10 p.m. pay. And that's crazy to me. That's super crazy. And then recently, not anymore, but recently he was working at a ski store for this season and working on getting like a ski instructor license. But at the ski store, he would work 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. And that's pretty normal. That's why I say a lot of Koreans don't have much time off, depending on what they do. I love kimchi. I had to enroll in a Korean school to learn how to make it. Did you learn yet? Do you like it? Is it fun? Or is it like really hard? It takes a long time. It takes a long time. My future kimchi instructor? Oh my God. I'm curious, is there any northerners in South Korea? Yeah. Yeah, most of them aren't out there like announcing that they're North, but yeah, I think there's more deflectors than we think there are. Are you in your 20s? I am not. I wish. Ah, jump down. Oh my gosh. I'm seeing something about Queen of Tears. Hold on. Hi. And someone also said hi to Kim. Oh my God, it jumped again. I work 25 hours a week at my job. Yeah. You only work 25 hours a week? Why do I feel like you're there all the time? Korean sentence structure, just think. Yeah, that's what, yeah. Think about it like Yoda. There's a YouTube account, which is also one of the companies that I use their books to learn Korean. She works 40. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. 25 hours? No, she works like 40 hours a week. Do you guys know the company Talk to Me in Korean? They make fantastic books. Unfortunately, they're not free anymore because they've become very popular. And unfortunately for us, good for them because they've gotten popular to the point that they can sell their products. But they have a TikTok account, and they recently made videos about if Korean, like if English was spoken with Korean structure, and it's so funny to me because I speak both languages, but If you want to see just like how out of order it is, go look up their videos. Talk to me in Korean. Their videos of if English was with Korean structure. It's like all over the place. Hold on. I'm trying to find. People are talking to each other, so I'm trying to find which ones are for me. 22 hours is standard, but I work over the my back hurts. The standard, so I get. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Have you experienced any racism there? Not me personally. I've heard some people that have. And I've had some people in my comments before that have told me like, hey, I'm Mexican, or hey, I'm black and I'm scared to go to Korea because I feel like I'm gonna face racism or discrimination. And it's very complicated because just like any country, yes, there are people that are like that, but there are also people that will stand up for you. And like I've seen videos of people in Seoul who have had interactions, very, very difficult interactions with people based on their race or their sexual orientation or things like that. But I also have a friend who has lived in Busan longer than I have, and she's black, and she's never had an issue. So I hate to see people say, oh, I really want to go to Korea, but I'm not going to because of such and such reason. You know, I'm lesbian, or I'm black, or I'm from India, or, you know, whatever it may be. I feel so bad when I see those because it's not a guarantee that it's going to happen. And there are so many people that will stand up for you too. So if you're worried about coming here based on something about you, I'm overweight, or I don't have clear skin, please don't let that stop you from coming to Korea, because majority of people are not like that. In my perspective. Obviously, I can't speak for everybody because I know there are people on here who have had issues. I personally have never had one, but I'm also white. So I have had a xenophobia issue in the past with coworkers, but yeah. So it's not to say it doesn't happen, because I definitely would never want to diminish the people's experiences that it has happened to, but it doesn't happen to everybody. So don't let it stop you from coming to Korea, if that makes sense. And if it doesn't, please tell me, because I would never want to step on anybody's toes. I would never want to be out of line and speak where I'm not able to speak. So I'm also one of those people, I will always take your criticism. If you come to me and you're like, hey, I don't agree with that, and here's why based on such and such and such, please tell me, because I would never want to step on toes either. I think standard is working 40 hours a week. Yeah, I think it depends on the company. Are there people with different religious backgrounds? Yeah, definitely, for sure. In Korea, there's the two biggest ones are Catholicism and Buddhism. And then, of course, you have a ton of atheists. But then as more and more foreigners come in, there's more and more other religions as well. So you know, for my countrymen, tell me who, and we'll beat, yeah, go beat him up. See, in my xenophobic experience was very minimal compared to what some other people have experienced, not just here, but in other situations. So that's why I never made a video about it or anything like that, because compared to what other people have experienced in Korea and not in Korea, I felt like it was very, very minimal compared to their experience. And it was more, at that point, me making a video would be more like drama starting than informative. So I just never made a video about it. Kimberly, Michaela, what are you guys talking about? You're ruining my mean reputation. Yeah, Michaela. Remember, Kimberly is rude. How did you gain interest in learning Korean or moving there? My interest in Korea started... Oh, my foot's asleep again. My interest in Korea started at a pretty young age. We did a school project